There are organizations out there that are leveraging Salesforce in powerful ways to serve their customers. Trailside Talk is here to shine a light on their successes and their stories.
I'm your host, Hannah Thompson. Join me on the trail to CRM success as we dig into some real-life, high-impact journeys, from challenges to triumphs and everything in between. Let's explore this story together. Welcome to Trailside Talk. I am joined today by Igor Bondarenko, Chief Technology Officer of SEAM Group. And SEAM Group is a global leader in energized asset performance that brings together safety, maintenance, and reliability initiatives. And they help their clients protect their people and their assets while ensuring operational uptime. So Igor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. If you will, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be in your role at SEAM Group.
Thank you for the invitation, and glad to be here. Yeah, I've been with SEAM Group for about 3 years, and my background is product development, software development. So part of what we do at SEAM Group is something that became interesting to me when I joined, is really using technology to differentiate our services that we offer to our customers and our mission to build a safer and more reliable world. In this industry, you know a little bit about facility management. Customers are hugely underserved from a technology standpoint. On one hand, they're overwhelmed with the complexity of it and the sheer number of different products to contend with, and on the other hand, they still find themselves relying on low-tech solutions, paper, PDFs, individual documents to navigate their businesses, and I saw a huge opportunity for us to do something different there.
Very impactful work you guys are doing. Would you mind sharing a little bit about how you came up with the concept of One SEAM?
Yeah, you know a little bit about SEAM Group's background, Hannah. SEAM Group, we are a relatively new business, and we came to be as a result of several businesses that have been successful individually coming together under a SEAM Group umbrella. So for us, one of the biggest priorities to take SEAM Group to the next level from its inception was the alignment of our different service offerings that we put in front of our customers into one unified strategy. So we like to say one SEAM, one team. We really saw an opportunity early on to make it easy for us to reason about what is it that we do for our customers in the market through the lens of how do all these different bits and pieces align, and make it easy for our customers to view us as a strategic, trusted advisor for all their service and reliability and maintenance needs.
Yeah, that's great. Can you tell us a little bit about the advancements of your ViewPoint system and how it's driving increased value to your new and existing customers?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited about that, and I'm incredibly proud of my team. I'm incredibly proud of the help we got from WhiteRock making this technology ecosystem work for our customers. ViewPoint is our digital crown jewel, and what it does for our customers, it gives them the digital single pane of glass to see what is happening with their assets across all our sites in the world. It is something we built in-house. It is something that we hear loud and clear from our customers, from our field engineers, and from our sales folks, that it really makes a difference in our mission. And one of the things that's been important to me is align ViewPoint with where are we going as a business and what our customers really need. So I'm really proud of my team, product, technology, software development, and the entire SEAM Group organization to align our digital component of our strategy with what our customers really need, and giving our customers a big voice in that.
Yeah, that's excellent. Lots to be proud of there. Could you tell us a little bit about how you organize your IT objectives and strategies and collaborate with your team?
Sure, that's a really good question. The important part to me with technology strategy, it has to be really well aligned to what we do as a business. What do we do for our customers? Why do they come to us? And it also has to be rooted in what makes our technology work for our employees. You know, our business relies on our folks being in the field and customer sites every day. So from that standpoint, it's how do we give our employees and our customers advantage of safety, best and real-time access to information, and how do we keep them secure? in a traditional cyber sense, security and also security of sense of cybersecurity, but also through the lens of how does technology play a role in keeping our employees and customers secure and safe. Safety is a big priority for us as well.
Yeah, definitely. What is your biggest challenge at Seam Group?
Good question. I think it's not unique to me and the Seam Group. We have to be diligent about prioritization and understanding the value proposition for our deliverables and what do we spend our talents, our time, our employee time on. As a business, we've grown really, really fast over the last 3 years. Has been an incredible, super exciting journey. And the byproduct of that rapid growth is a sheer breadth and depth of different opportunities. And it's your traditional technology product challenge. There are so many things you can do, but what really matters? So for us, what's been important is align that to our mission, stay true to it. And a big part of it is the ability to say yes to the right opportunity, but also say no to the opportunity that doesn't fall into the mission. And then prioritize and base that on the value, commercial value, customer value, employee satisfaction. There are several components that go into it, but prioritization is everything.
Can we dig a little bit deeper into that and talk about how the challenge has impacted your day-to-day business and your bottom line?
Yeah, of course. With technology, the day-to-day impact, you see it in several ways. One, it's a big efficiency and productivity play for us. For our sales folks, it's the ability to find the right information in the process of going about their day, whether it's prospecting or understanding what happened with a customer or a person they're conversing with historically. What have we done for them? Where do they struggle? How to take advantage of the rich Salesforce data sets. And this is what WhiteRock helped us tremendously to standardize and make it easy. Same with field engineers. How does technology help our field engineers to be safe, efficient, and effective? Get on the site, do the job effectively and safely, deliver the right data to our customers in the shortest time possible, so our customers are well informed with what's going on with their assets, where do they need to focus their budget, their attention, their remedial actions, and how does it impact their mission as well. So that is pretty much what makes us us. If you take one thing away from what does technology mean daily in our life, without it, it wouldn't be who we are.
What are your new technical and innovative initiatives for Seam Group for 2024?
Several things that we're pursuing this year. There are three buckets of activities and opportunities we see. One is continuing to drive that one Seam vision and mission, which is system integration, getting the right data into the hands of decision makers at the right time. A big part of that is our CRM Salesforce and how that plays into the 360-degree visibility of all things customer and customer conversation related insights. There is also the integration aspect of how information from Salesforce travels to our ViewPoint system, travels to our financial systems, travels into our project management and program management software, and how do we make the information travel without the low tech swivel chair integration, but use the APIs to get data integrated. Second component is analytics and reporting. We are a data-driven enterprise, and data is a key component to how we grow and how we have grown. That's been transformative too. So analytical enablement, building the data warehouse, building useful and meaningful reporting for our internal users and for our customers is the second part of our strategy. And the third one is ViewPoint. In 2023, we won a Reliability Web Award for best-in-class safety solution. I'm really proud of that. It's a reflection of the tremendous work that our technology product team, the software engineering team, and our operations team have done together with sales to really understand the opportunity and make that opportunity into reality.
A lot to be excited about at Seam Group, for sure. Can I ask you, how did Seam Group first discover and engage with WhiteRock?
Yeah, WhiteRock's been a trusted partner for us for, I think, close to 3 years, which is great. And we've connected with WhiteRock through a recommendation of one of our financial investors. It's really important that a trusted advisor like WhiteRock has a recommendation from somebody you trust and you know. So we've connected on a couple of immediate opportunities, and the partnership started on a couple of small to mid-term process and integration challenges we had, and then grew from there.
And how has WhiteRock improved Seam Group's ability to serve customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. I see WhiteRock as again, a trusted advisor to us in terms of CRM and Salesforce best practices. What I appreciated over time with Mike and everybody else in the company, including you, Hannah, is that we can actually have conversations about not only what we're trying to do, but what is the best practice that you've seen successful with prior customers, prior engagements. So the experience that the Mike and the rest of your team have has been tremendously helpful for us. The second part is the ability to just get things done and execute. There's the old joke that reliability is a luxury, right? And it has been really, really great to have a reliable execution partner that can deliver integration and work with my team to build out the CRM ecosystem with Salesforce that works for us, works for our sales team, works for everybody else in the business, but also integrated tightly with our analytics and that integrated system, one Seam backbone that runs our enterprise.
Well, that's great to hear. This might be you might have already touched on this, but what do you value most about working with WhiteRock?
Yeah, that's a good question. I covered a few of those aspects, but frankly, I really do appreciate the ability to have direct conversations, and I appreciate that your team, Mike, the rest of the team, can push back on us when we come up with great ideas that simply may end up in a situation where it backfires on us. So again, best practices and experience is one thing. The other thing that I really value about this partnership is that from advisory to implementing the code, we have the ability to pick and choose what specific component of which you offer we want to bring into a project or a situation. It's been good to have a breadth and depth of talent that WhiteRock has for us.
Wonderful to hear. May I ask, how did Seam Group and WhiteRock work together to customize solutions to your unique needs?
Yeah, I touched upon sort of the broader themes there, but one thing I want to call out is WhiteRock aligned really well with my team's adoption of agile methods and agile practices. The ability to have transparent backlog and prioritization to say, hey, here's what's going to get done in this 2-week sprint, the next 2-week sprint, and align the dialogue across sales team, my team, software development and product, and the WhiteRock resources has been really, really helpful. And one of the things that is important to me is to make sure we don't get into the weeds of taking Salesforce too far down the path of customizing and making it special and unique, right? Simplicity is greatly undervalued in this world. So where possible, we try to keep things simple. And I keep going back to it, that experience of knowing what works, what doesn't in general, and the ability to have a team that can also be a sounding board for, hey, are we complicating things, or are we better off maybe just using it out of the box functionality? There's always a tension between people, process, and technology, and finding the right balance has been super important to us, and this is where your teams have been very helpful.
So kind of continuing to dig into our partnership here, Igor, would you mind discussing the importance of open communication and collaboration in this partnership?
Sure. I think the biggest difference between partnership and service is how do you behave when things don't go as planned, which we always do, right? And I think it's true for both sides, Hannah. There are situations where we internally had to change priorities and pivot. So for instance, a prior ask that the team at WhiteRock spends time building, we had to pivot and put on ice or go in a different direction. And the ability to have transparent discussion about why we're here, why the change is happening, and frankly, respecting the time that team has put into it as part of this change management process is important. I also appreciate that the team at WhiteRock is transparent about things when they don't go as planned on their side as well. Whether it's estimates, whether it's again competing priorities, which hasn't been an issue, but the ability to hear that your partner will deliver bad news quickly and transparently is important. Things happen, right? This is a high growth, high risk, high reward situation. So when the surprises happen, good or bad, I want to hear about them. We have a saying here at Seam Group that bad news needs to travel fast, and WhiteRock's been really good at this.
I like that saying, bad news needs to travel fast. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Can you share any lessons learned or challenges that have been overcome during this process?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I spoke a little bit about surprises, and I alluded to this already, but one of the biggest things that I keep repeating and relearning is the importance of valuing simplicity, the old KISS principle. Simple is good. Technology can be a powerful tool, but can also be overwhelming. And instead of a time saver, it can become a source of delays and frustration. So no matter how special every enterprise is, no matter how special a team feels they are, one of the lessons I've learned and I advocate for is maybe our processes aren't that special. And maybe we should spend time thinking about how do we simplify them and how do we lean on industry best practices. That's super important. The other part that I've learned and we've relearned together several times is the importance of what I've referenced earlier about the agility and following lean development methodologies. I like the expression of think big, work small, and that's been one of the philosophies I think that made this partnership really productive and helpful. We can do that together. We can have a big vision, multi-year vision together, and we're going to take our CRM and processes and integration, but we can still break it down to the small iterative deliverables and execute and respond to change and respond to learning. It's been fantastic, and it's a lesson that I will gladly share with anybody who wants to listen and talk about that.
I'm so glad to hear that, Igor. Going back to One Seam a little bit, would you mind sharing how you're measuring the value and the success of your strategy?
Sure. It's a really good question. Strategy isn't really a strategy until you can point to what results can be attributed to it, and is it really living up to the mission and vision and economical results. For us, the success of our One Seam, first and foremost, comes down to what impact we've had with our customers, what's been the performance of our business, and how have we impacted and helped productivity and jobs of our employees. So to that end, those KPIs that we have internally and that we measure in the CRM, in our warehouse, in our One Seam Data Hub, have to do with customer impact, with employee productivity, and with our economical results, just like any other business. So the ability to correlate all of that together into our journey from early stages of Seam Group to where we've really come together as an enterprise, you can see that correlation. The one thing I'll tell you, going back to lessons learned too, is it always takes longer to get there. But if you take a step back and look at the multi-year journey, the results are actually following that process of us coming together as one Seam team.
It's always good to be able to see those results and celebrate them. How has the partnership with WhiteRock contributed to your growth and development at Seam Group? And I'll add on to that, how do you measure the success of WhiteRock solutions for your organization?
Frankly, there are several measurements of that. One is how the progress we've made with KPIs and reporting and integrated CRM ecosystem. And how did it correlate to the productivity of our sales force? How did it correlate to the productivity of our financial planning FP&A function and our forward-looking forecasting capabilities? I think without WhiteRock's contribution to process standardization up front, to implementing these best practices in Salesforce configuration, and all the work that they've done with the Lightning ecosystem for us. Without that, we wouldn't be where we are. With the complexity you can encounter there in Salesforce, right? You can go 5 different ways. But having somebody like WhiteRock in the partnership seat helped us navigate some of the thornier choices and situations to get to where we are today.
What do you consider to be some of your biggest accomplishments over the past year?
I'm incredibly proud of my team and the overall teamwork that we have in the business. Again, the relatively new enterprise that's growing as fast as we have. It's my number one goal for my role. I'm only as good as the teams that do the work. We're only as good as people that do the work for us and our customers. And see how the organization rallies around the one same mission. See how the organization rallies every day in solving our customers' challenges is really remarkable. And then taking a step further, what we've done in terms of differentiating ourselves through technology is a credit to everybody in my organization, to my product team, to my software development team, to my system operations team, and the rest of the company as well. Everybody from sales to operations to finance to human resources. Everybody's doing hard work every day, trying to live up to our vision and this one same value. And I think that if you take a look back where we were even 2.5 years ago, it's remarkable how far we've come.
What are some of Seam Group's future plans and goals, and what is something that Seam Group is excited about now or for the coming year?
We're excited about some of the things we're doing with technology. Specifically, we have ambitious plans to continue to invest in our One Seam ecosystem and technology behind it, analytics and ViewPoint as well. We have a lot of feedback from our customers about how we can help them with ViewPoint and analytics in their mission to be safe, to keep their facilities running and keep their assets performing at the optimal level. And we have a couple of opportunities in front of us that we're going to talk later this year. And with all the work we've done internally in the enterprise with this One Seam methodology and philosophy. So I guess the short answer is more of the same, but expect that we will continue to make bigger ripples in the industry. And one other thing I'll say, we've shared with everybody the news that we are joining forces with ABB, and ABB is going to be a fantastic destination for us. There is so much complementarity in what we've been trying to achieve with our mission and vision, with the huge potential and the huge addressable market that ABB has, and what they do with our customers. We're excited about the journey. We're excited to start walking down that path.
A lot to be excited about there, for sure. How does WhiteRock fit into your long-term strategy?
I think WhiteRock fits into our strategy of optimizing CRM and putting the right information in the hands of our sales folks and decision makers throughout the business. It's been a part of our journey so far, and I think that WhiteRock should consider themselves proud of what we've done. And we have a number of projects we're working on this year, and I'm looking forward to see how they all going to come together and launch new functionality in Salesforce and outside of Salesforce for our sales folks, for our operations, and the rest of the business. And indirectly, our customers will benefit from that as well.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it on our end as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can we discuss a little bit about potential areas for expansion or innovation within this partnership?
We need to continue to streamline the common processes in Salesforce, where we, especially in the area of multi-service offerings, multi-plays, triple plays, and change order management is one of the things that we spend a lot of time streamlining and optimizing. I think it's a huge opportunity for us to, next couple months, really put in a place where we have the right data and we can respond to customer change with an increased visibility from sales to finance, from A to Z.
And what advice would you give to an organization considering a Salesforce partner like WhiteRock?
My number one advice is that don't walk the CRM path alone. I've mentioned several times how important and impactful it was for me, and I'm speaking for my team, to have a partner who's been there, done it. It makes a big difference. It's a confidence booster. It's the ability to expand your resource pool. It's the ability to accelerate delivery, and it's the ability to have a sounding board for the journey, for strategy and for execution.
If you had the opportunity, what is the most significant piece of advice that you would give to someone in your role at another company?
That's a great question. Free advice is worth exactly what it is, right? But I think, again, the three things I would say is never underestimate the complexity of standardizing technology across the business. It takes time. And the byproduct of that is, my other advice is try to stick to the people, process, technology triad. It's tried and true for a reason. Technology is a great enabler and a great differentiator, and strategically, it for us has been transformative. But technology only succeeds when people know what's expected, they understand their goals, understand the mission, they're empowered to succeed, and processes are clearly understood and committed to. Then technology can actually deliver on that. And the last piece of advice I'll give is, once again, think big and work small. Have a big vision, have it BHAG, but deliver it in small steps. Avoid the big bang changes. Part of it also remembering how painful change is for people on both sides of the fence, customers and everybody inside the business. Change is hard, but change is exciting.
Yeah, it sure is. Gosh, that's great advice. Thank you, Igor. As we prepare to wrap up here, is there anything else you'd like to share with those tuning in today?
I just want to say thank you, Hannah, for setting this up, and really excited to share the story and answer your questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Igor. A few kind of closing questions here. Do you have a favorite book for success that you would recommend to those tuning in?
Great question. I don't have the book I recommend. I do like to read. I'm a voracious reader. I as a former military officer in my prior life, I'm a student of military history. Love that topic, and there are many parallels that can be brought into the business world. And one of my favorite authors, Stephen Pressfield, writes fiction, and some of his works are historically based, accurate recaps of some of the most famous military campaigns around the world. Several of the books I've read through the years that stuck with me are the books from that genre. And Stephen Pressfield being my favorite writer, I highly recommend that people look for an inspiration of how to navigate change, how to navigate pressure, how to prioritize, how to empower, and how to set the right tone. There are a couple of books by Stephen Pressfield that I'd highly recommend.
Great. Where can those tuning in get in contact with you or with Seam Group?
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty active, fairly active on LinkedIn. Please reach out. I love connecting with people. I like talking to different folks and learning from them as well. And Seam Group's we're on LinkedIn as well. If you go to our website, you'll find an email address how to get in touch with us, and I welcome folks to reach out and talk.
Igor, thanks so much for taking the time to join us on Trailside Talk today. It was truly a pleasure to get to dig into your story and to hear about all the exciting things that you guys have going on at Seam Group.
Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate it. Enjoyed the conversation as well. Thank you.
Thank you for everyone who took the time to tune in today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a great rest of your day.
Well, that concludes another exciting episode of Trailside Talk. Thanks for joining, and see you on the next trail.